Well, hey Gemini, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're gonna be doing your February general reading here. So I just came out of meditation for y'all. Go with me on this. So there is a film production company, I believe called Gracie Films, that was a producer of The Simpsons, a television show of The Simpsons, I believe. And if anyone's ever seen The Simpsons, when it ends, the last production credit is the image of people in a movie theater, right? And there's an image on the screen that says Gracie Films, and then there's this kind of song that goes, and it goes da 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 da, and it's really interesting. That's what I saw in the meditation. But if anyone knows what I'm talking about, even if you don't, it's okay. I'm gonna break it down. But that is from like a long time ago. Like it looks like it's from the early 90s. It looks like it's dated. We almost associate that with, and I feel like the reason that they've kept it, I don't even know if that's still the end credit, but I think why they kept it for so long was to acknowledge, because it's a point of pride that show has been on as long as it has been. So they keep that original ending production credit. So I saw that and heard and then I was taken into a spaceship, right? A super modern, like Guardians of the Galaxy spaceship, right? So I went from being in the past, right, into the forward future. I saw the Gemini Collective in this spaceship and everything was so modernized. But here's what's really interesting. Like in the background, I saw you guys like sort of being at the helm of your own spaceship amongst the stars, darling, for Aquarius season. Yes, thank you very much. And I saw the Simpsons on a player like in the background of the ship that you guys just had on in the background to like listen to while you guys traveled the galaxy, which I'm obsessed with, right? And then I saw you guys kind of scan the galaxy, right? But I saw the word like heightened and clear perspective on point. Your perspective feels more clear than it has been in several mementos. Super clear perspective. It felt like someone went in with some sort of like squidgy. Do you guys know what squidgies are, where they used to like clean the cars real well? They came in with like a squidgy and just cleansed your third eye in particular. Because the thing is, when we see things, that's fine. Our vision works for us in a myriad of ways, right? Love to have a good eyesight happening, right? But when your third eye is clear, meaning when your vision of what you want for yourself and where you are going, when you have that fixed point of destination and how to get there, even if it's a little hopscotchy, right? Even if it's in pencil, right? When you have that clear, that just feels like a certain kind of freedom and clarity that is so highly prized. Okay, I do feel like, because whenever, depending on what zodiac, time is going on, you benefit from that energy, or you can work with that energy, right? So since it's Aquarius season, Aquarians are the visionaries. They see into the future, right? They're futurists, they're inventors. It's that kind of energy. So also problem solvers, but creative solutions to problems. You are tapping into, or you have the opportunity, right, based on what you do or do not do, but you have the opportunity to tap into that Aquarian energy of problem solving and solutions and clear vision and creative solutions, right? Creative thinking, creative problem solving that is going to catapult you forward into the star systems. And I see you like racing towards a fixed point in record time. I feel like you have the opportunity from where you're starting at the beginning of this month to where you're going to end up, perhaps even going into March, right? Around the spring equinox, it feels like, which is around March 21st is the equinox. It feels like an incredibly potent time for you, where you have an opportunity to tap into that clear vision and really see the path forward more clearly than you have in a while. It's like the road clears suddenly, and it feels really nice. Except it's never really sudden, is it? Yep, there we go. That's what it is. The hummingbird, please. Hello. Let's talk about the hummingbird. First of all, it's air energy, right? For my beautiful air signs here. And I love it. I really do feel this way, and I feel like it's like, yeah, there are exceptions to this, what I'm about to say. But overall, whenever I am reading for an element and they get a like element in animal form, I do feel like it's a special sign that they're in a certain kind of alignment, right? So we're in Aquarius season, your fellow air sign here, you Gemini are an air sign, and then we got the Hummingbird, which is the airiest of the air signs because the wings beat so quickly, right? Really beautiful. So the hummingbird in terms of animal medicine speaks of quite literally feeling light of heart, right? Feeling light. I like that we're flying. I saw you guys in a spaceship. I'm all the way here for it, right? And we've only just begun. Feeling light of heart. This is also about the sweet nectar of life. So this can be about romantic connections that really serve you and fulfill you and allow you to enjoy the smaller things of life, right? Even if you're dealing with, you know, bigger transition points or finer points or whatever have you. It's about, quite literally, this key is about stopping to smell the roses, right? Or the honeysuckle, as it were, with when you have the hummingbird. And I really love that for you. Now, also, so this can be about you're a manifestational magnet, right? Whenever the hummingbird energy is alive and well, there's going to be a lot of good attention coming your way, a lot of good opportunity, and a lot of sweet feelings and nostalgia, but in a really beautiful, familiar, comfortable way. So the other aspect of the hummingbird is that I equate to a page of swords energy, which is about news, messages, insights, and communication. So that is also beautifully in line with the meditation. I'm feeling you this month, Gemini. What's going on? What's going on? What are you doing right? That's the thing too. I'm feeling there is an aspect of leading with the sweetness. You're starting to realize that you catch more, what is it? Flies with sugar than with vinegar, with honey than with vinegar, whatever that is. So we got the Knight of Wands here, which is absolutely no surprise at all. Do you remember how I saw you just speeding through the star system and then the hummingbird's wings beat oh so quickly? You know, I also want to draw a parallel here. The color red feels incredibly prominent for you for this month. And I was going to say that because of the red throat and the hummingbird. And now we have it repeated here with the Knight of Wands, with the red here, right? So remember, red is about the root chakra, which is all about your connection to the work that you do in your physical body, right? So this is about feeling like you have both feet on the ground and operating from a place of, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I do know that I'm going to be prepared for whatever may or may not occur, right? And that's a beautiful energy to be working with. Now, remember, wands also rule the realm of the actions that we take. So this is already feeling very action-packed, but it feels more than just, oh, I'm just running around busy arbitrarily, whatever. No, this feels like purposeful action. Very purposeful, calculated action, which feels just beautiful. And there feels like there's a lot of luck on your side. It's almost, what am I hearing? It's kind of like, having sort of that, and I mean this in the best possible way, and I can't think of a more positive term like in this channeling moment, but it's almost like having that charm of the devil, but not the devil actually, come on now, but I mean like that kind of like that devilish, I should say, devilish charm, where it's like, are you gonna say no to me? You can't say no to me, come on now. You know what I'm thinking, you know what the scene I'm seeing in my head? If anyone has ever seen You've Got Mail, it's okay if you haven't. It's that scene where Meg Ryan can't check out at the grocery store because she got into the, you know, cash line when she only has a credit card, and Tom Hanks swoops in and gets exactly what he wants, and he's like, you know, using the cashier's name, and he's like, that's a beautiful name. Now, don't you just want to take that credit card and move it through the machine? And Meg Ryan's just looking at him like, what on earth? Are you charming your way in and out of this situation right now? And that's what this feels like. It feels like your charm is going to go very far for you this month. And it almost feels like an almost forgotten charm, or a charm that you may have to dust the, you know, wipe the dust off a little bit off of, you know what I mean? It's really beautiful. You know, Knight of Wands, traditionally speaking, is that fast forward movement that is directly related to someone or something or a path ahead that you're passionate about. I'm also drawn to the fact that this beautiful ostrich here, right, is seeing its shadow. Right? So there's the shadow aspect and then the light of day, right? So dark and light. Also going back to that duality of the Gemini as well, I feel like there's a deeper meaning in this, because when I saw the Gracie films with the Simpsons production, that's nostalgia, that's of the past. And I feel like you're able to, the fact that it was playing in the space machine, is that you're able to take what works and worked from the past and keep it close to you, but you are moving into a new direction with clear sight. And I feel like it's like you're keeping your shadow with you, you're keeping the past with you, and and you know, there's good to be gleaned from that. You don't want to leave everything behind, right? But so it's a part of you that's integrated. It's no longer working against you. You have healed what needs to be healed. You've come to a place of acceptance around, you know, whatever needed to be accepted, darling. And because of that, the way has been cleared, right? Yeah, this is really beautiful. So we also have the High Priestess here, which I'm obsessed with the continuation of the red. I'm here for it. You know, the High Priestess is it's such a beautiful, it's actually like my favorite key in the deck. You don't say. But the High Priestess is very much about, it is tapping into those inner depths. Remember the light and the dark here too, right? Tapping into those inner depths to glean wisdom and insight as to the best strategic way to move forward, right? The fact that this is shown with a spider and a web here, look at how delicate that web is. Look at the stars here, by the way. I saw you guys flying through the star system. Hello, goodbye. This web is so intricately and perfectly and masterfully made. And that really feels in alignment with where you are in this month. You are moving with purpose and precision and using your charm to work for you. And it's quite brilliant. It feels very, very good. You know, also when I see a spider's web, that very much puts me in mind of, because it's the number 2 as well of the High Priestess, second month of the year with February. This feels very in alignment, this energy. Spider webs represent how, not just how important it is to give as well as you receive and receive as well as you give and how important that is, but it speaks of the fruits that are born of a reciprocal relationship with yourself. Because when you have a reciprocal relationship with yourself, then that just manifests into a reciprocal relationship with other people. Because you can only treat other people as well as you treat yourself. So if you're not engaging in self-care, then you're not going to be able to be there for other people to the full extent that you might want to be or that they deserve or that they're there for you, right? That's why they say, like, you know, fill your own cup before you seek to fill anyone else's. But it feels like you've received the memo around that, which is why I'm obsessed. Then you have the Empress here. Again, it's excessive. I love this already. It's the 2 to the 3. So these are in order. Again, this feels very aligned, darlings, very aligned. So the Empress is so stunning because this is about birthing, right, into the world what you desire. This is manifesting, but from a different angle, right? This is with the Magician, right? You set your intentions, you use the tools at your disposal, and you start the journey, right? The High Priestess says, but let's dig beneath the surface and really figure out the best way around what I want to manifest, the timing of it, who I need to talk to, when, all of that, right? How even, right? Then the Empress comes along and says, okay, you've done the masculine part of setting the intention with the Magician. You've done the feminine part of the High Priestess, right? Where you've delved beneath the surface to get all of the information needed and made sure it's in alignment with your highest and best good. And then there's the pregnancy period with the Empress here. It says, allow it to gestate, which we can also translate to believing in something before you see it. Believing that something is going to pay off for you or work out before you have physical proof, right? I'm kind of obsessed. I think this is the Scottish Highland cattle, actually. I've seen these in person. They're really, really beautiful. But do you see how her hair is kind of covering kind of the eyes here? I feel like that's a rather profound message for you because there's a beautiful energy that comes along with not having to see to believe. Right? It's an energy, it's a vibe. It really, really is. But this feels very like a happy expectation. Remember when I said that this feels like February going into March around the equinox? This is springtime, that's the spring equinox, March 21st. This feels like a very, shall I say, fertile time. Also the Hummingbird too with the flowers here as well. And then we have the flowers with the Empress. This is a happy expectation that we're going into here. It's absolutely stunning. Is there any better feeling than knowing that you've done all the work and you've done everything that is within your power to do and then just expecting it to work out well and having nothing more to do than just chill in a meadow while not waiting, but while you sit in happy expectation of the fruits of that labor to manifest for you? Here for it. Wow, this is stunning. Okay. So here we have the strength key. It's so beautifully shown by this stunning whale that has been caught in a net. You know what I'm getting from this? Because, you know, the net, there's an aspect of restriction here and breaking free from it or seeing the best way forward through it. But there's a parallel image here between this net and this web, right? I'm feeling like there's a aspect of a network, like a working network. People that you've worked with before that are now friends that maybe you can go to for new job opportunity, or a network, a social network, right? That you glean a lot of good out of, that you get some sort of fulfillment out of, right? But this is also utilizing the network that you have in a very precise and beneficial way for yourself. This could be work, this could be personal, this could be all of the above, right? Now, traditionally speaking, strength is about calling upon your inner reserves of stamina, fortitude, and faith to see you through the moment or, you know, position that you're in. Right? The fact that this is aligning when it's in your primary, your first position here, which is the past energy coming in to inform your February, the fact that this begins with the Knight of Wands with the shadow, and then we have this whale breaking free of this net that has been so cruelly put upon them. It's really beautiful. Doesn't it look like freedom to you? And we were talking about the past, the old operating system. Remember that old aspect of The Simpsons with the new spaceship, right? This is really beautiful. I feel like this is where you're coming from and saying there is an inherent freedom that you have made for yourself. Nobody came along and cut this net for you. There was either a restricted way of thinking or not seeing all the options at your disposal or forgetting your inherent charm and that you are inherently able to manifest what you desire. That, yes, Dorothy, the answers and the power have always been inside of you, right? It's feel like you really got that memo. And I do feel like the strength is like a full tank of gas as propelling you onward, you know, into this forward energy here that's going to take you through to the equinox, which feels really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Strong spring energy here with the Hummingbird and the Empress. Hello. All right, High Priestess, what's up? What's good, High Priestess? Yeah, stop, Gemini. Oh my God, Ace of Wands, step and repeat. Are you serious? I feel so happy about this for you. Okay, first of all, 2 circles, right? Repeating patterns here, really obsessed with that. There's also a circle around this hummingbird here. There's a circle behind this Knight of Wands. Circles are about completion, right? Really beautiful. Let's talk. Ace of Wands. Remember how we were talking about light and dark as well, that duality, right? So Ace of Wands, again, the wands rule the actions that we take, but they also speak of what we're passionate about. The ace is the penultimate energy of its given suit, right? So this is about feeling huge passion, energy, and drive. I'm getting an image of someone who has been running a marathon and they've been conserving their energy to a certain point, weren't quite sure they're gonna make it through, and then they get to like the last mile and they can see kind of the finish line like off in the far distance, right? And then they like pull on inner reserves they didn't know they had and they're like zoom, like down to the finish, right? That's the energy that I'm getting from this, and it feels really, really beautiful. But I'm also getting, you are going to derive a great amount of strength, inspiration, and excitement from your network, which begins with your reciprocal relationship with yourself, which is going to manifest in reciprocity amongst your relationships and work partnerships, right? Which is going to lead to this burst of energy and inspiration and excitement about the future. That's what this feels like. Excitement about the future. And I'm obsessed with that. Okay. Stop. But before I get to that, I just want to point something else out. I'm getting a very Lord of the Rings vibe. I mean, when am I not? But, so you know how in Lord of the Rings, I forget what it's called, but it's like that wizard sphere where you look inside of it and it's very dangerous, but you can kind of see the future or, you know, other aspects of Sauron, whatever. It looks like that ball, and then it looks like it's on top of the staff that Gandalf has. So it's really interesting along with the high priestess and the spider here as well. This to me is giving me a sort of supernatural energy of like not just high manifestation, but remember what I said about the clear sight and the clear vision? And then we have the high priestess who is the seer of the zodiac. And then we have this kind of crystal ball sitting on a wand type of deal. I'm telling you, you have where you are going, so clear in sight. It is giving you such an excitement about the way there that it just feels like you are traveling at light speed in a really beautiful and effective way. The Wheel of Fortune, are you serious? Came to play today. How many major arcanas is this? 4? 4 major arcanas. 4 out of 6 are majors. You know what that means. That we're talking about fated, destined energy here, right? If you see minors and you don't, there's something that displeases you, you can change it. But this speaks of like, there's a higher energy and path point at play, and it's really beautiful. It's really exciting. So Wheel of Fortune, traditionally speaking, is high. You're manifesting. Luck is turning in your favor. The wheel turns and it is turning for you and with you and because of you. Remember when I said, is there anything better than sitting back knowing that you did everything that you needed and wanted to do and you're just waiting in happy expectation, or should I say chilling in happy expectation of what's to come? And then you have the Wheel of Fortune, which means that exact thing. Stop, but don't. This is really, really beautiful. And I'm also really drawn to the fish here, which is a sign of fertility, but also fish medicine speaks of how manifestation is a direct influence of allowing yourself to be on the river of allowance, which means you're not trying to control anything. Your ego is not in play where you're going, I need it in this time, and I need it to be this way, and I need it to look like this, and I need it to da-da-da-da-da. When you release control of the wheel and allow that wheel to turn in your favor from a place of acceptance and flow and trust and faith and all of that good stuff, it turns out so much better than you could ever think to ask for in your mind. That's what it is. That's the goods. That seriously, that is the best. You know, have you ever had a moment where you're like, oh my God, and maybe think about this. Maybe take an opportunity and give some time to this where you think, when in my life did I want it to go a certain way, but then it ended up turning out so much better than I ever could have thought on my own. And I'm really glad I didn't get it either exactly the way I wanted or thought, or in the timing that I wanted or thought. Feels important. Feels important. Let's get an oracle. An oracle from a Gemini. I'm hearing open communication. Communication also feels like it's really healthy during this time period. Even written communication. There just feels like there's a clarity where you're in a sweet spot. And it's interesting because this also covers Mercury in retrograde. But this feels like this is a very happy retrograde for you in terms of communication in particular. You know, in retrograde, all the planets go in reverse, right? I'm really drawn to this wheel. I feel like for you, there's something about that where it's like, it's very much working in your favor. It's fascinating, actually. But it's like what you say is understood and received in the way that you mean it. And that's a beautiful spot and pocket to be in. So think about how you could take advantage of that, right? Is it time to say something or open a line of communication or write a proposal or whatever have you? Is this the time to do that because you're in this sweet spot, right? Beautiful. Whoa. Wow. So we have Fury Bushfire. So this is really fascinating because do you remember when I said that I saw the image of The Simpsons and it was of the past and it was like moving into something new? This is a Polaroid, which Polaroids are definitely something of the past. I think they're awesome, but they're definitely something of the past in this digital world where your camera's on your phone. So that's the first thing that I'm drawn to with this. But this is also, remember when I said that there was something about with the Knight of Wands, how you are integrating what's helpful from the past, right? But moving on into a fresh new energy. You know, the energy of the fire as well is very transformative, but it's also an aspect, there's a cleansing aspect of it. I know this is very intense, but there's a cleansing aspect of it as well, right? But I feel like there's a deeper meaning of this because kangaroo medicine in particular speaks of a complete lack of worry. When kangaroo comes up, it's like there's a complete lack of worry. It's just moving on ahead, trusting and knowing that regardless of when or how it happens, abundance is always going to show up in some way or another, because why? The Wheel of Fortune turns either way, right? So that's really beautiful. You know, there's also an aspect here of like, I'm really drawn to the Aboriginal paint on her face as well. There is an aspect of inherited strength that I'm getting from this as well, because you did get the strength here, key here as well with the whale, which is also about ancient wisdom. So there is an aspect of drawing upon, you know, taking what you've learned and using it to your benefit as well, but also calling upon the strength and benefiting from the strength and counsel of your ancestors, of your loved ones that are older and have seen a few things, right? This is a really beautiful perspective feeling around this as well. But you're in a place where you have accrued a certain level of strength, right? Where you're able to kind of go, okay, I'm past the point where I need to release the past. I've already integrated what works. I've healed what needed to be healed, right? Regardless of how long or in whatever way that took, that has led me to a lightness of being with the hummingbird, where I feel like I'm being seen and understood in a newfound way, right? And I'm allowing the fury, the bushfire, right? I'm allowing this fuel, right? Of maybe looking at where do I want to be that I'm not, right? Looking at where you want to go from that lens, and then allowing that to fuel you and be that jet fuel, if that's what goes into a starship, I don't know, spaceship, and putting that in there, allowing that to propel you forward. But I feel like this is like goodbye to the worry, goodbye to the fear, goodbye to the, you know, this really is probably not going to work out in the way that I want it. Again, with this fire with the Ace of Wands, that's what this is, right? Gemini, this is so beautiful. I'm so obsessed with this for you. Also, the fact that this is the number 10, this is the number of, you know, completion, right? End of a cycle. This is the end of one cycle and the birth of another, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this for you. And that being said, this was your February general reading. Hello. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please do let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.